Hello everyone. So in this video, I would like to share more information regarding the data aggregation and the group operations. When we have categorized or different type of data, the aggregation and transformation is very critical component in the data analysis, right? There are many things we can do. We can group the data and apply multiple inbuilt functions, or we can write our own functions. So in this couple of video, I would like to discuss on the data aggregation and the group operation and related function around those. So before I start, I want to also discuss about this split, apply, combine methodology. So what this mean actually is when you do any group operation, right, any data aggregation, how the internal operation take place is where data is there, right? It it first it get into grouped, means it gets split, and then the operation. Let's say you want to do the summation. So this is the data, right? And it is against we are grouping based on the key. So we have A, B, C, three groups, and now we want to sum it. So A will be summed into 15, right? And B will be summed into this 30 and C will be summed into 45. And then the last part is a combine. So all the group will be combined together to form one data frame or the series kind of a structure output in Python, right? So let's first start load our libraries and let's create one data frame. So in this we have key one, key two, uh, data one and data two. So this is a data frame, right? And let's compute the mean out of it. So before we do that, let's group it. So what we are doing, we are uh, data one column. We are taking one and grouping is based on the key one. So it will be A B group, right? And I'm putting that into the variable called group. So as you can see, uh, we are supposed to see the result, but it did not give us the result what we were expecting because it group means we are currently in this state, and you can do more operation on here, right? It already grouped and we will be doing mean of the group. So as you can see in this A and B are the two groups, and what it did, it provided the mean. First it grouped this and provided the mean of data one column. You can directly what we are doing, we are grouping data one again, group by key one and key two. So now A1 will be one group, A2 will be second group, and we are doing the mean. So we are directly getting the result. This mean we can do the unstack, right? We can convert. So what when the unstack happens, the inner index will convert into the columns. Now let's move to the next part of it. We have these states and the years, right? And what we are going to do, we are going to do a grouping based on this state and years. So how this will happen? So again, this is not a part of the actual data, right? DF, but you can group with by providing the additional list series, and you can use that in grouping. So in this, CCAOH will be grouped based on with respect to their years, and the data one will grouped based on this particular state and the years indexes. You can directly do the group by and create do the aggregation function like mean, right? So what you do, group by key one, group by key one, and provide the mean of data one and data two. Group by key two, provide the data one. You can again combine these two, key one and key two, and do the means, right? You can also get the size, and as you can see, all this operation, the NA's values are dropped. But if you want to keep the NA's value, you can put additional parameters, the drop NA equals to false, and it will provide you the NA's values too. Again, you can do the counts operation also if you want to count the number of observation between data 1 and data 2 based on the group by the key one. Next, let's look at the iterating group over groups. So in the key one, so in the data frame, we are what we are doing, we are creating a group using the key one, and we are iterating using the for loop. So name and the group, and first it will print the name and it will print the group. So we have two groups here, right? Key one, if I go up, so key one has two group A and B, right? And A and B, and what it did, it just provided the first group, first the name, and then the actual group, all the data. Again, if you want to make a tuple, you can do that with the group and first values, right? Group A1, A2, B1, B2, and this data. In this, what we are doing, we are again doing the for loop and creating a dictionary. So this is a dictionary comprehension where name and the group will be converted into the dictionary. Right? This is A first, it's key, and B and it's key. And you can extract those if you want to see on the B data. So this is all the B data. Next, selecting the columns and subset of columns. So again, this is the same thing which we did. So if we have a group, we are doing the group one, and we want to extract by group after grouping the using the key one, we can extract the key two using, and its mean, right? So again, you have to put down your function, then only you can get the result, else you will get the generic group by group as the output. Here we are extracting the data 2 based on the two keys, right? Key 1 and key 2. As you can see in this index, we have key 1, and in the index, we have key 1 and key 2 together. Next is grouping with the dictionary and the series. Again, let's create one data. We have a one data frame. We have a data frame with 5 into 5 matrix. The columns are A, B to C, and the indexes will be Jaws, Steve, Vanda, Jill, and Tree. So this is what the data is, and what we can do, we can create one mapping: A equals to red, B equals to red, C equals to blue, and this is what we have the mapping. So what you can do, we can group these people to group by using this mapping, and we want to do mapping on axis. So A will be converted to red, B again red, C will be blue, blue, red, orange. So we have how many groups? Three groups, right? And let's see. So we have, okay. One thing I would like to highlight also, as you can see why the third group is not there, because F we have kept orange and there is no F, so that's why it's been discarded, right? So now if you remove the orange, then all the two group left is blue and red. You can do we can create the series and again use the series and count the number of the observation with the same result. So the idea here is you can, in the group by mapping, you can use any additional outer mappings. You don't have to use the existing one, or you can use the outer. Like in this case, we did the mapping, right? We created one mapping, and also we above we did with the states and the names, right? This one. So now let's move into data aggregation. So we have this data frame like key1, key2, data1, data2. And if you want to get the information of this data frame, there is a inbuilt function called data info, which is very efficient. It will give you all the detail regarding the columns. And let me run that first. So what we have here, it's a class of the pandas core frame data frame. There are 7 entries, right? 0 to 6, 0 to 6. This is the index. Then the columns, there are 4 columns: 0, 1, 2, 3. How many non-null values are there? So as you can see in this we have two non-nulls, right? So 5, we have one null, 6, and that there are no nulls, so it's a 7 values. So let's do the group by using the key one, right? And it's a grouped, and on this group we can again use the any other function, mean, sum, and smallest, so it will give you the smallest function number in that particular group. You can write your own function. Like in this case, what I'm doing is peak to peak means give the maximum and minimum and subtract out. So let's say the maximum value is 100, minimum is 10, so the answer return, it will be going to return what? 90. So in this group, we are going to use AGG, right? It's aggregated function, and you can provide your inbuilt function or any user defined function, like in this case peak to peak, right? And it will give you, okay, let me to run that, and it will give you the result. So in this A and B uh, key one. The difference between the maximum and the minimum is this. And again, you can use describe. It will give you all sort of statistics. What is the count, mean, standard, quantiles of the data one, and similarly for second group of the data two. Let's do one example. So I have one data set tips.csv. You can get it from the internet, and let me load that. And I will just drop this to sex and time columns. And this, let's see what the data set look like. So it has total bill, tips, whether the smoker, day, and size. And let's add the third one more column where tip percentage. So tip percentage is what is the percentage of this tip based on the total bill. Now I did what I did. I did group by based on the what day and smoker, right? And let's run the aggregation here on the tips PTC, right? Tips percentage. So we grouped using day and smoker, and this is the mean of of the tip percentage. Again, I told you you can use the AGG and provided the functions, multiple function, it will give you the result set on the day and smoker. It means a mean, sum, standard deviation, peak to peak, right? And if you want to change the names, so you can provide average. So mean will be converted as the average, and NPT is converted to standard deviation. So you can create a list of all the functions, count, mean, max, and provide that. So first group, I want to see only the grouped value of tips percentage and total weight aggregated by will this function, and this is the what results look like, right? And the next one, you can also use the dictionary. So in the group, if you want to see the maximum of tips and the sums size you want to sum it, right? You can provide again the multiple in the dictionary multiple functions you want to apply to that group, and that's what it is on the tips percentage, right? We want to see minimum, maximum, medium, and standard deviation. Next one is the returning data grid using without the row. So this is nothing but we have as index, you can see the day and the smokers, right? So you just fill up the values on the index and move those index into the columns. Okay. Instead of what exactly it means, you have whatever the group you have created, instead of seeing that into the index, you can see as the columns. Okay, so let's also see the apply, split, apply, and combine action. So what I have created a one user defined function two, where I'm taking input as the data frame, number of observation, and the column, and I'm returning these sorted values of that particular data frame based on this column. Ascending is false, and it will show the numbers, right? So I'm applying tips as the data frame for six values. So tip percentage, it shows from ascending to descending. So this is the highest tips was given by this. So the total base was 7.25 and the tip was giving 5.15. So that's the like almost 70%, 71% of the tip was given. Right? You can apply again, you can apply is the inbuilt function, and you can provide the top, right? This user defined function, and it will give you all the result set based on the smoker. A smoker is a group by, and it will on all the other existing column in the data frame. Similarly, I'm just using the smoker and the days, apply and providing the other arguments in the tops. Describe I've already discussed, so you can first group it and tell the Python on which column you want to see the inbuilt statistics from the describe function. That's how you can, and you can do the unstack of this, right? Converting your columns into rows. And if you don't want to see the hierarchical indexing, you can just apply directly group all group key equals to false, and it will remove the indexes and only show you the numbers, the index number, and with the other columns in the data set. So there are a lot of functions we covered in the data aggregation and the group operation. I have one more video. I will showcase and continue our discussion on this group operations using the inbuilt and the user-defined functions. Thank you.